Outside of making money and drawing huge crowds, the aim of the wrestling business is to generate the largest possible pop from the audience. Championship victories, huge upsets, and big debuts are ways of achieving this, but none do it better on a consistent basis than a huge return from a crowd favorite. So here is the 10 most heart-stopping WWE returns of all time. The Ultimate Warrior, WrestleMania 8. Due to the controversy between him and Vince McMahon, the Ultimate Warrior had not been seen on WWE TV for some time. So when the main event of WrestleMania 8 came around, not a single person in the world could have foreseen what happened next. A heel, Sid, and a run-in with Papa Shango threatened to derail the main event against Hulk Hogan when a very familiar theme song began to play. Warrior made a long, triumphant run to the ring while the crowd serenaded him with cheers. Sting, Raw, 2016. When Sting made his debut with the WWE in 2014, fans were ecstatic, yet disappointed when he lost his first match to Triple H, and it left many fans asking what was next for the icon. All was revealed on Monday Night Raw in a shocking moment when Seth Rollins' statue was being unveiled in the ring, only to reveal the WCW legend. The crowd in attendance went nuts as Sting beat down Rollins, and although this led to his last ever wrestling match, the moment had to be one of the most special in the career of the Stinger. Daniel Bryan, SummerSlam 2010. When the Nexus began dominating Monday Night Raw in 2010, they lost the man who would become the biggest star of the group in Daniel Bryan, who was released after non-PG conduct on screen. This wasn't the last we saw of him, however, as he was the surprise member for Team WWE versus the Nexus, and the fans of the American Dragon and the crowd let him know about it, as it was one of the biggest pop in recent WWE memory. And although he was young in his WWE tenure, this pop was indicative of things to come. As we all know, he went on to become one of the most beloved stars in the history of the business. Cesaro, Raw, 2016. After suffering a shoulder injury in late 2015, just as he was seemingly being pushed, Cesaro was expected to return shortly after WrestleMania 32, but no one expected what happened next. After Sami Zayn was ruled out of the fatal four-way main event by the dastardly Kevin Owens, familiar sirens sounded, and out came a suave-looking Swiss Superman to a gigantic pop from the Dallas faithful. Debuting a James Bond-like entrance, Cesaro ripped off his suit and was ready to go, and like always put on a phenomenal performance. Here's hoping for a huge push for the Swiss star. Seth Rollins, Extreme Rules 2016. After airing an emotional 24/7 special on the WWE Network, Seth Rollins returned as a triumphant hero, much to the pleasure of the anti-Roman Reigns crowd at Extreme Rules, and delivered a thunderous pedigree for his former Shieldmate. Despite the frustratingly obvious fact that Seth should be a babyface, yet returned as a heel, it is clear that once he is given the all-clear to turn, he will be the best babyface in the company since Daniel Bryan. Whatever the case, this is definitely a highlight moment for the WWE thus far in 2016. CM Punk, Raw, 2011. When CM Punk delivered his infamous pipe bomb promo in 2011, he became the industry's hottest star, and the entire storyline heading into Money in the Bank completely blurred the lines of kayfabe and reality. This was only furthered when Punk won the title and left the company, until he returned 8 days later to the hit song Cult of Personality. The return moment was iconic for the WWE at the time. Both Punk and Cena raised their titles, which raised questions for the fans at home, as well as a quite boisterous crowd in attendance. Hulk Hogan, Raw, 2006. Hogan's 2005 run was best remembered for a match with Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam, which turned into an absolute joke. His initial return to partner HBK and John Cena was absolutely electric, and got the biggest pop of the year. The iconic red and yellow, the classic theme song, the deafening and lengthy crowd pop, and of course, JR and King's fantastic commentary made this a memorable moment that is talked about still today over a decade later. HBK, Raw, 2002. After suffering a supposed career-ending back injury years earlier, no one expected Shawn Michaels to be back in the ring, but especially not in the shocking manner to which he returned. Kevin Nash, leading the NWO, promised a shock that would rock the WWE to its foundation, and boy was he right, as he introduced the legendary HBK in the famous NWO Black and White. Shawn went on to have a fantastic second run with the company, but this shocking and deafening return proved just how good he was in his first run, and just how much the fans truly missed him. Ric Flair, 2001. The Nature Boy has not been seen on WWE TV since the mid-90s. So when Kurt Angle was being presented the WWF Championship, no one, and I mean no one, expected Flair to turn up. But as he always does, Flair styled and profiled his way to the ring to shockingly reveal to Vince McMahon that they were now partners. And his hometown crowd certainly let him hear their roars of approval. John Cena, Royal Rumble 2008. If ever there was a moment that defined surprise in wrestling, this was most definitely it. Cena triumphantly returned to Madison Square Garden a shocking 4 months before he was scheduled to be back. And the roof absolutely blew off the place. He would go on to win the 30-man Battle Royal and headline WrestleMania. And this moment was one that will go down in history, and is one any fan of John Cena or not should check out on the WWE Network.